Hi guys, and welcome back here to the DevRel. And today we carry on our amazing TCG series. And if you guys remember what we did on the last episode, is that we had this ability to add the cards, and of course we did a little bit of a code organization. Now, what I would like to do here today is a button to add a new card and the ability, or actually an animation, that will add the card to my where I want. All right, so I know that I did this on the last video, set visibility. I'm just going to remove that because what I want to do here is that on the event graph, when we add the card, I'm just going to take this out. I like the idea of the card being there, but I want to move the card here using an animation. Let's do that. So what we need to do here is that we have what we call so we have the add a new card action. And now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use something called timeline. So timeline can actually be very useful in those cases for us. The only downside of a timeline that it runs on the event graph, it doesn't run in a function, which sometimes it gets very disorganized. I really don't like it, but we can use this as our own advantage. So we're going to create here a custom event, and we're going to call this API animate card. All right. So to animate the card, what we're going to do, so let's have a look. How do we set the position? What do we need to set the position? We need the X, the Y, and we need the target, right? So basically what we can do here is that we can copy all this stuff here. I'm going to go back to the event graph, paste it here, right? And this needs to be the canvas, which we pass as option. And I'm going to recombine those options, the structure. But before we recombine, I'm going to create here a custom. I'm going to create a timeline. Timeline. Can I create a new timeline? Timeline, is that how we can do it? Let's see if this works. All right, guys, so I was looking for a timeline, and basically I come up with this issue that unfortunately I don't have a timeline here that I can use. So I came up with a different solution. So widgets, they don't really support timeline, and I don't really want to do this using animation, and I don't want to really do this using event. So I'm gonna create it in a different way. I'm gonna use my player controller, which has a timeline that we can use to do that for us. All right. So first of all, on the main TCG widget, make sure you add a new variable, and we're gonna call this player controller. This, it's going to be the TCG player controller. Make sure it's public, expose on spawn, and it's a single value. All right. Now we are going to go back to our player controller. Two things we got to do. First, refresh this, and we're going to add self, so we can edit our controller. And now we're going to create here a new graph. I'm going to call this UI actions, because this action comes from the UI. We're going to create here a custom event called API move card on widget animated. Now I'm going to make sure that this runs on the client. Remember, guys, client, anything related to widget only works on client, because if you do this and then you put this on server, you will have issues. Now that we have this, I'm going to copy this set position. I'm going to put it here. And here we need the canvas slot. So I'm going to plug it there. Nice. We need the target. And of course, that we need here to pass the X and the Y. Okay. So we're going to pass here the position X and then position Y. Nice. This is going to be a float. And also this is going to be a float. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, what we can do here, for now, let's just see if this is working. Okay. Plug it right there. Everything is beautiful. Now we can go back to this. We don't need this animated card. I don't care about that. I do care about this API move card on widget animated, right? Or maybe you can call this API move card to position animated. Just trying to come up with a very nice name. Nice. So here we have the organized card. Now we do set the Z order. That's fine. The only thing we want to do here is that we want to call this. We want to call the move the card. And I'm going to put the Y and the X and the target. So of course, at this point, I am just abstracting everything to my controller. I'm putting all this movement into my controller. And you will understand what I'm going to go with this in a sec. So right now, if I press play, everything works fine. Nothing changed. Cool. Now, remember that I was trying to look for the timeline. Unfortunately, I did some research, and widgets, they do not have the ability. But objects or actors or controllers, they do have that. Since we need our player controller to do things for us, why not do this right here? So what we can do is that we can create a timeline. And this timeline here, timeline, we're going to call this move card. All right. Now the move card timeline, I'm going to double click. I'm going to add the track of the length. I'm going to add a track float. And we're going to add two keys. Right. Key number 1, 0, 0. Key number 2, 0, 1. All right. So it just has this linear curve for us. I think that's everything that I wanted to do. I don't know why I can't see what's going on here, but as you can see, it goes from 0 to 1. I think maybe, I think that's maybe 5 is too much. I don't know. Maybe I would like maybe to put like 2. I don't know, like how much we want. Let's just leave it the way it is. Okay. Nice. So now that we have this information, let's go back to our actions. So now when we press play, every time it updates, we want to move our position, our widget position. Now, of course, we always want to play from start. The new time, I'm going to leave here like as 2. I don't think this value will interest us very much. And what we need to do here, guys, is that we need to get the current X and position of the widget, do a lerp to where we want this to go, and then it will basically calculate on the alpha value where it is. So the way I explain it sounds super complicated, but it's very easy. We are just trying to basically calculate position. We're literally just doing this, this movement, right? So to do that, what we're going to do here is let's just disconnect everything. So first of all, I need to know where is my current widget position. So get position. And I'm going to split this. Nice. Now, okay, I have my position. Now I want to call something called lerp, right? If you lead a lerp, basically linearly interpolates between A and B on alpha 100%. So alpha 0 and 100%. So basically, it calculates which part of the way you are, right? So A, this is going to be for the X, right? I'm going to C, and I'm going to call X position lerp. And then we need to put the X. And this is going to be the alpha, the track here. And now I need another one, which is going to be the Y position, Y, okay? Now we need to put the alpha here, Y, and the position where you want to go. Plug the value right there. And if we did everything right, which I think we did, it works. Now, it is just working for one. I'm not entirely sure why, but it is doing the animation for us, which is really good. Now, let me check how many times is this thing being called. So this is called 4 times. All right, so it's being called 4 times. Play. All right, so it's calling 4 times. I have a feeling that we have to call. I think I'm struggling a little bit. I think is that we always have the same canvas. No, we actually have different canvas. Okay. So what if we do a delay of 2 seconds? Will that work? Press play. I'm not entirely sure why that's happening. Let's investigate. So let's go back to the main widget. We are calling this 4 times, right? We're calling this 4 times. And we are calling this on the player controller. So I can do it here. I can do a print. And I am calling this. I have 4 hellos, which is good. And I am calling this widget differently, which is also very good. And the canvas, as we proved before, is also different canvas. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now, why is this struggling to do that? So we run on the client, we move the card. Is this being called how many times? Let's check. Oh, I see. So this is being called. Oh, I think the problem is that we are calling this. This is So this is taking us. It's like we have a track problem, right? I think it's something to do in my timeline. So time 1, 1. The value is 1, 1. Okay. The problem here is that it's running. So if I go back to the widget, we're calling playing from start or reverse, set a new time, doesn't matter, right? So if I call this print, I should see hello, 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 stop, and then hello, hello, and then stop, and then hello, hello, and then stop. So how about play, right? Would that work? Play? Nope. Play from start. I mean, what happens if we do a play from start? I guess we would need to wait for each card to finish, right? Create a timeline. I mean, what we could do here, guys, it's because otherwise we will have to queue this, right? Let me just think. All right, so I found one limitation that I actually wasn't aware, which is basically when you move a card or when you spawn a card, the timeline can only play once at a time per object, which means that we will have to create our object for each card, which I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with this because we do need any way to spawn an object for the card. So rather, let's just do this right now. So what we're going to do here, guys, is that we are going to go back here to the blueprint and we are going to, actually, this is fine. The only thing that I would like to change it here, that we need to change it, is that we need to add here a new option, which is going to be called the card. I not necessarily need this, but, well, in fact, I don't need any of this for now. What I can actually do here, I'm going to go back to where is my controller. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to create here a new actor, and I'm going to call this BP card instance, right? Later on, we can use this card instance to spawn maybe some styles, you know, anything that we want. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to the event. I am going to close the card. Come back here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to the card instance. And of course, I'm going to delete everything here. And I'm going to press paste. And that's everything I want to do. I just moved to his own instance. All right. So this card will manage only that card and so on and so forth. Now, for now, once it's finished, I just want to destroy this object because I want to save energy. Memory, not energy. Okay. Now, all you're going to do is that we're going to spawn actor from class. And I don't care where we're going to spawn. So we're just going to make a transform. Don't need this, right? Now, what we're going to do here is that we're going to call the API. We need to select the class, of course. This is going to be the card instance. And we're going to call this API move to the animated step. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to delete this. I do not need this information because remember, we moved this to there. Here, here, and here. Now, there's probably a better way to doing this using within the widget, because this seems like a little bit of an overkill, but the animation works, and I'm very happy with this. So, as you can see, everything's working fine. What you can even do here, if you guys feel like, is that you can use a little delay, right? And 0.2 is fine. So, things does in order, you know. Oh, actually, why the delay didn't do anything? I'm not sure why. I mean, you can add a delay here. A delay, you know. Maybe a delay on less will do the same. But they need to be spawned in different times. But that's okay. Let's just play from start right now. Alright, guys. So, now that we have this information, look how cool it is. We got our cards being added. Just before I wrapped up this video, I'm going to do something very simple for us to test. I'm going to go back to my main TCG. I'm going to open up the design. And in here, I'm going to search for a button. I'm going to add a little button right here, which is going to have a text inside. And this text, it's going to say, add new card. All right. This is going to be just for test. We're not going to leave this public. Okay. Even because I don't care about the design of this button. I just want to have a button there. And every time I click on the button, it's going to add a new card. And look how cool things are starting to become. Like, we're gonna click on the button. So we're gonna click on this button here. Where is it? Events. To see all the events, enable variable settings for this widget. Yes. Now we're gonna click here. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna call the API add new player card. Of course, you can choose what card you want to add. Look at that. So it's adding everything there. Now, I think we're having a little bit of an issue there because it's not adding to the right place. Like, as you can see, things are getting a little bit messy in terms of, let's just have a look, organization, and we are setting the Z order. Maybe for now, I'm gonna set the position. Set position, okay. I'm gonna split, and I'm gonna just, actually no, I'm gonna plug X and Y. I want to see if that's happening when we also are setting without having to spawn the object. Yeah, it's causing a little bit of an issue when adding the other cards. I'm not entirely sure why. Okay, but we can figure out this on the next lesson. The only thing I can think of that if you guys want to go ahead and figure out this is that I would just I would just print here this information and see what it would happen. So now I have, you see, it's coming with a weird value there. I know why. We don't even need to. It's because we need to do what we need to do here is, ideally, we just need to do this, guys. So we just need to do, we're going to promote to a variable here, card count, right? So card count is going to be integer. And if you guys do find a better way of doing this, please let me know. But we're going to do an increment. By the way, this always start as 1, okay? And we're going to do that. It's going to come here. Now what happened is that we can just add what we call the card count here, right? And the Z order. So the Z order, it's just going to be set like here, right? And I think that's it. I think we don't need to worry about that anymore. See? Look at that. So working fine. So of course I'm adding many cards, right? Things are getting very weird. But like, as you can see, we have our game adding the cards for us. I'm very happy with this. I think this tutorial was very, as you guys could see, I was struggling a little bit to find, you know, the balance between when to add and create certain things. Like, for example, I'm still not very happy about the solution of the card instance, but I know that I will need this card instance at any point. So if I need this, why not keep it, right? Let's just keep it for now, and we don't need to worry about this in the future. Also, now we have the card count. We have everything set up and ready. We have a way to add a button here. Next thing we would need to do here, guys, is the ability to drag and drop that card around, you know, which it's very easy to do. And if you guys follow my previous tutorial about the inventory, we kind of covered that a little bit. What I would like to get us to this series as well is to a point where we have a beautiful UI. I want to make sure that we construct a very nice UI, and that's why I'm going to spend some time with the UI building the cards. I want to make sure that we have a proper game. I don't want to make sure we just have a rip-off, another tutorial that's going to be under the, like, you know, put it somewhere. This is going to be a game. I want to make sure you guys enjoy it and we can even play together, you know? So once again, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I see you in the next tutorial.